So at
somebody.
what point in all of this did you say, okay, I've had enough. I'm going to go out and do this on my own? And what brought you to that?
Okay, yeah, a lot of it was, we all I think in ourselves we have this desire to be self-sufficient. Our profession's so entrepreneurial.
It is.
Um, and I felt like I had maxed out on learning a lot from this practitioner and group, and I just wanted to go out and start my own game. So and they knew that when I was coming in that I would leave eventually. So it was about after a year and a half, 2 years, I said, all right, I'm going to go start a practice. So I told the practitioner that I started my, winding down there, started a practice about 20 miles away. And soon after I started that practice, I mean, I was already hip deep in this other practice.
Mhm.
And it was going quite well. And he approached me and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to go work for my brother. So why don't you just take over this practice, Tom? So here I am. Oh, I've got this practice over here, 20 miles away. Take over this practice. So I said, all right. I mean, at that age, you're full of spit and vinegar, right, Vinny? So I did both. So I bought that practice, and it was sold on land contract. And still to this day, I want to tell the young doctors that's a great way to go. It really is. Because
Purchase a
all that
practice.
footwork's been, yeah, purchase an existing practice. You know, one of the things that they didn't teach us also, Vinny, is your exit strategy. We're
Mm.
so worried about getting up and getting going. The most important thing next to getting that income coming in and finding stability and growth, the next important thing is what do you do when you want to leave? You
Uh,
have to make that plan up front. So your exit strategy. Um, and and that was important. I learned that because this doctor didn't have an exit strategy, and all of a sudden he said, "I want to leave," and he's dropping the ball, and I got the practice for a dime on a dollar, and it was just a wonderful move. Basically, I inherited the halo effect of his good character in the community. I slowly changed it into the type of practice I wanted, and Bob's your uncle, so it was great.
I did the same thing. So I actually bought, I mean, I did two things. So I started my own practice right out of school and I decided, I listened to a lot of people and I had $1 in a dream and a credit card. And you and I both know what happens to businesses that are underfunded. So it didn't take me more than a couple months to realize, okay, you're in way over your head here. And then what I did is I did an associateship after that. And then I said, you know what? Buying a practice would be
Yeah.
ideal because you're starting off, you hit the ground kind of running, and you already established by your associateship that you
Mm-hmm.
need to have a paycheck. So you got to start from somewhere. So I
Right.
think that's a very fortuitous situation that you were in.
Yeah, that was good. And a lot of people out there in practice don't realize that they need that exit strategy. So a value add to you as an associate is to give them an exit strategy. When you're negotiating as an associate, just tell them, I'd like to be part of your exit strategy and start to work from that foundation. You'd be surprised the doors that can open.
Yeah, that's what we call a win-win situation. I mean, they get what they
Yeah,
want,
right
which
on.
is money for their practice, and they get to, you know, capitalize on the value they've created all those years, and you get to start off, hit the ground running, like we said. Now, you're in both practices now, okay? And did you still maintain the second practice at the same time you purchased the practice that you were already in as an associate?
I did. I did. Yeah. And then I quickly, that's a tough way to roll. So I immediately got an associate for the new practice,
Mhm.
got my exit strategy going and sold that within, 3 years so I could concentrate on the practice that was closer to home.
Love it. Okay, great piece
Yeah.
of information to know that. And so when you did do that,
Mm-hmm.
let's go to this first. I want to ask you another question about the location you chose when you did decide to open your own practice. So
Mm-hmm.
did you choose that location for specific reasons? Was it demographics that got you there? Was it a particular place? I mean, I know you practiced in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did
Correct.
you stay in Michigan because it was where you lived, or you felt it was a good state? Like what did you feel about where you chose that first practice that felt it would add to your success?
Yeah, I stayed in Michigan because this is the home I was born in. I wanted to purchase it from my parents. So I never left. And so 66 years in the same home. So I wanted to practice close to my home.
Gotcha.
And the second thing is, the where. I mean, it's not really a problem, I don't have a problem driving. So I figured an hour radius around me would be great. Where I'm at, you can actually go south to Canada, which is kind of weird. What I'm saying is I'm backed up to a river, so the river where I live kind of cuts off almost maybe 90 degrees of your radius. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So everything we have to kind of go out. And so, at the time, like now you can Google where the trending areas are at. You can go to townships and find out, where are they planning the next big move? Where's the infrastructure going? Where are they building? What I'm saying is, to your point about following demographics, back in the day, we looked where McDonald's was setting up because they already had the expensive, money put into the demographic flow.
Correct.
And it's true, and it's still true. There's probably better ways to do that now. I'm not aware of them, but it was basically look where these chains would set up, and then just go in there and set up there.